practice, the sidecar riders, showing their feats of daring. There's bike 2, that's Lance Roper with sidecar passenger Mick Noble rather, on the Suzuki LBR 1000, which I assume is a local version of an LCR. Leaves the rest of the... I've never seen so many sidecars in one place in Australia short of Bathurst. That, however, is what you'll be seeing as the race progresses today. Bike 82, Greg Neal and John Flood, and you're seeing John Flood's view on the SBS minicam, which of course has been hired from the ABC under a joint venture arrangement. And it's certainly giving a new aspect to motorcycle racing, as we see in front of him Graham Biggs warming up the tyres of the LCR 500 and getting, of course, in Greg Neal's way. Tyres on these bikes comparable, in fact, to the sorts of tyres that would be run on open-wheeler racing cars, albeit on smaller rims, but requiring all the warming up across the broad base of their non-tread pattern. An absolutely enormous field of sidecars lines up on the Oran Park grid for leg 1 of the Shell Oil's Australian Road Race Championship, to be held over 6 laps of the 2.6 kilometre Oran Park circuit. Coming now down into pole position is Barry Ditchburn and Laurie Genova on the Dinford TZ700 Yamaha, and alongside them is bike 51 Gavin Porteous. That's the view from the second row of the grid. Greg Neal riding the ABC SBS Minicam Transarc, built in Queensland. And Greg Neal, of course, third in the Australian Championship, some 38 points behind Barry Ditchburn and Laurie Genova. All ready now for a start. Huge creep from Graham Biggs down the outside of the second row, but of course he stopped it in time so that he didn't false start, and it's bike 32, Barry Ditchburn, in the lead, but fighting with him on the outside is Gavin Porteous on 51, and he may well charge over to take the lead. It is, yes. Gavin Porteous has forged his way through to take the lead from the outside of the front row of the grid. Like 30 there, going through on the outside is Stan Bayliss, the multiple Australian champion of the 1960s and 1970s. And Mick Cole, what an incredible field.
It's been a long time since I've seen so many sidecars in a race.
17 now as Graham Biggs up into third place on the genuine LCR 500 Yamaha, a Pucker Grand Prix machine that can hold its own in World Championship racing this year. But there's the race leader, Gavin Porteous and Jeff Spencer. They are only 5 points behind Barry Ditchburn and Laurie Genova, and every point counts, so he's just got to get a win here today at Oran Park at the halfway point of the Shell Oil's Australian Road Race title for 1989. And he's certainly opening a handy gap, Mick.
Yes, got the big 4-stroke. All the rest are on 2 strokes. But Gavin out in front, he's got a Board GSX 1100 motor, which is a Suzuki 4-stroke motor. Got a lot more grunt out of corners, which is a lot more drive, but the 2 strokes, as you could see.
Greg Neal now in 4th position, chasing the leaders. Directly in front of him is Graham Biggs on 17. In front of him again is Barry Ditchburn. And then up in the lead, you can see bike 51, Gavin Porteous. And what a scrap for the lead between these 4 machines. Just look at the worm-like movement of Graham Biggs as he slides the LCR, Louis Christian Racing chassis around the track.
Here at wheel spinning? That's wheel spin. These boys could cut it anywhere in Europe. They'd get in the top half dozen.
The chassis maybe not quite up to scratch at the moment, Mick, in terms of European racing conditions.
No, that's true. But Andre Bosman went over there last year with his homegrown outfit, and he surprised many of the established stars.
Biggs has a look down the inside of Gavin, or rather of Barry Ditchburn, can't do it. Ditchburn, of course, a very experienced superbike and Grand Prix rider.
Ditchburn's made a move.
Sure has, and now it's bike 32, Ditchburn in the lead. Oh, everywhere. Gavin Porteous forges his way back under Graham Biggs, who for a while there was up into second position. Meantime, around the outside comes the minicam bike. 82, Greg Neal charging down the inside, takes over third position, and it's Graham Biggs now back into fourth. Oh, my goodness. The athletics of John Flood.
They're the
bike
workers.
82.
They are the workers.
Just
these
incredible.
Chaps. They've got muscles in their muscles, those fellas.
Holy confusion, Batman. This is better than Gotham City. Just look at Flood all over the machine now as Graham Biggs behind him can't believe his eyes and tries to catch up again. As they come up the spectator straight, overtaking what we hoped was a lap rider, but it isn't.
No.
Bike 22 has come off the track. That's Darren Dredge and Michael Nichols. We hope they don't have to dredge too far to find the bike and the riders down in the undergrowth. The race for second place now between 82 Greg Neal and 17 Graham Biggs. There's your race leader, 32 Barry Ditchburn. So it's Gavin Porteous on 51 who's gone missing.
I thought it was him that went like he's may have had some mechanical problems.
Yeah, it did look that way, didn't it? Because we just saw a glimpse from the minicam of the bike sort of slowed on the track. So it's the passenger, Michael Nichols, who's receiving attention at the moment, but he's sitting up, so we must assume that he's not hurt to any.
Big slide.
And a big slide from Greg Neal as he now throws out the challenge to Barry Ditchburn in the lead. Himself, Greg Neal. That's the engine sitting right behind Neal, you can see there. And that's exactly what they're doing. This is the race for the lead between between Barry Ditchburn and Laurie Genova, and Greg Neal and John Flood on 82. The 82 bike, of course, carrying the minicam. And lurking right behind them is Graham Biggs. 4 laps down, 2 to go.
Barry Ditchburn's bike, really, he had a noticeable increase in power. But Greg Neal's, there's another chap down.
There's been another flip. Can't pick up the bike or the number except to say that the rider is having a little bit of difficulty extricating his feet from the machine. His passenger's okay.
No, he seems okay.
It's 14. That's Mark O'Brien with passenger Robert Crass. Oh! So wide to the wall now as he goes for the slingshot coming up over the bridge. This has got to be a ploy on the part of Greg Neal to try and get himself down into this end of the circuit just that little bit quicker. Neal has seemed to me, Mick, to be able to get deeper in brakes than Ditchburn, Ditchburn's prepared to go.
Greg's making up time through the swervery, through the twisty stuff. Whether his outfit's a better handling outfit or whether just he's riding it better.
Have you picked a slot yet where he's going to be able to get through?
What he has to do,
he's trying.
Ditchburn's got the power to pass him back down the straight, so he's got to do something at the end of the straight.
And he's done it. He's done it already. So now it's up to Ditchburn to see if he can get through. Here comes Ditchburn.
Here goes Ditchburn.
Look at him with that power on. Now down the outside. This is...
Oh, no.
Lap 5 of a 6-lap race.
I don't think Barry Ditchburn will be able to stay with Greg Neal now. Once Greg Neal gets a clear run.
So half a lap remaining now for this leg 1 today of the 4th round of the Shell Oils Australian Road Racing title. And now lapped riders could make all the difference as they come up now and go past Michael Hemming on 29. Ditchburn forced to find the long way around there at the second of the lap riders, and that gives Neal just that momentary advantage he needs. So Greg Neal, the leader, and possibly a second at this stage on Barry Ditchburn, but they're coming up to lap riders all over the place. There's only one corner remaining. Ditchburn down the inside of the lap rider. Can he do anything about it? No, there's at least a second between them and the lap rider. So you've got to say it's the SBS ABC minicam of Greg Neal and John Flood on the Transac Yamaha that takes the win from Barry Ditchburn and Laurie Genova on the TZ 700. And in third place, number 17, Graham.